Good evening, boxing world, and welcome to another edition of Fantasy Bout Hour, the channel dedicated to bringing you fantasy matchups on a regular basis. If there's a particular matchup that you want me to cover, please leave it in the comments section, and I promise to honor your request. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification. The fight I'll be talking about tonight comes by way of request, and this is coming from the Blade Man. Blade Man, I thank you for your request, and I thank you for participating in the channel. The fight that he mentioned was Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao versus Zab Super Judah. Excuse me. And this is a very interesting fight stylistically. From the standpoint that both guys are quick southpaws. Now, I understand that most people feel that Manny Pacquiao would destroy Zab Judah, but I wouldn't overlook Zab Judah as easily in this fight, and here's why. Manny Pacquiao hasn't fought many fellow southpaws. So, number one, his southpaw advantage is gone. Number two, Manny Pacquiao always, or most of the time, has the speed advantage in his fights. That's gone. So, like I said, it's a very interesting matchup that I don't see as one-sided as I suspect that most of you would. Now, with that being said, Zab's lack of confidence, his lack of concentration, and his lack of discipline, did him in most of his big fights. And so Zab was his own worst enemy, unfortunately. That's not to be critical or disrespect him in any way. But when talking boxing, when weighing these hypothetical matchups, those are factors that have to be considered. And so, I see Zab having some moments early on. But and of course, Pacquiao, he's always coming. He's always throwing punches and bunches, and he just seems like a nightmare of a guy to fight. And so, once again, Zab would have his moments, but Pacquiao, he never stops coming, and Pacquiao is consistent, and that's what I feel will win this fight from him, is the consistency. And I suspect that his conditioning is better than Judah's. And so, it would be a chess match during the first 4 or 5 rounds. And if Judah can give Floyd some competition, I'd imagine that he would have his moments against Manny. But once again, styles makes fights, so that's that. Unfortunately, I see Zab falling apart later on in the fight, so it would be a good one while it lasted, until Pacquiao starts coming on later and Judah starts fading. And so I'm gonna give this one to Pacquiao by late stoppage. I'd say round 9, round 10, somewhere around there. So please give me your thoughts, and thanks for tuning in.